Hello YouTube, I'm actually back and coming to you live from my, well, not live, recorded from my brand new basement. Let's take a little tour first. From my new desk we have a little display of the new Gundam, all my action bases, tools, things to be built yet, things being built, and over this side things that are completed. Not too shabby, eh? And of course gotta put the Transformers somewhere. Oh, and there's more of them over there. And some Star Wars at the bottom. But anyways, I started the video with this guy in shot. What exactly is he? Well, the experienced among you will say that he is Studio Series Scrapmetal. And you're wrong, it's not. It is in fact a bootleg, a knockoff from a company who call themselves AOYI Mech? Is it something like that? I forget how you pronounce it. But anyways, this is what he is. And before you start with, why did you buy a bootleg? It's simple. Hasbro UK did not supply that wave. We had nowhere to buy it. Anywhere. I checked many shops all over, everywhere from Derby to Leicester. Let's see. Derby, Leicester, Rugby, Coventry, Birmingham. No luck in any of them. So instead I settled for this guy online because buying the official one was going to be £70 or £8 for this. So side view of the box has, for some strange reason, a picture of Scrapper, but I think, oh, it's a continuing image. Yes, there he is, highlighted here. Not Hightower, Scrapmetal. Instead of his name he has been given of Roll. I'm not going to call him Roll, I'm just going to call him Scrapmetal. And they've given us a nice image of him up here, and you come around here, there's an instruction set that's vague, but it works. Sort of. Don't know what the 8 is for. Or the 2 styles of switching. Funny they say that because there's 3. Anyways, get the box out of the way. That's not what you want to see. What you want to see is this. And I'm doing this review because nobody's done one in English yet that I've seen. I've seen Spanish, I've seen a Portuguese one, and I've seen a Japanese and a Taiwanese. Haven't seen an English one yet, so thought give people a little look at it. First major difference I can see is these. Supposed to be yellow, but they're grey. I actually quite like them grey. It breaks things up a bit more. Because the only other grey that you can see is here and in the joints and this, where is it? Oh, it's inside him, this big wheel in here and these little ones down here, which apart from them everything is yellow or black, so I quite like these. Not a bad change. Another change is, well, I think it's a change, I'm not actually sure, this bit in the middle is die cast metal. Just this bit here that connects to his head. I'm not sure if the official one is metal here, but this one definitely is. Apart from that, it's really good quality plastic. The only thing I've had to do is, on the likes of up here in the shoulder, there was a peg that hadn't been properly trimmed. There was another one for these that hadn't been trimmed on these connection points. And one more for, can I get a view of it from here? Yes, down in here on this tab it hadn't been properly trimmed. And apart from that, it's perfectly fine. I mean, size wise it's just your ordinary scrap metal figure. He is still the little one. who gives his life so that Megatron can come back. And Megatron's so big he can't even fit in. So he is definitely the little one. Why am I taking him out? He's the focus. Anywho. Yeah, articulation is still the same. The arms still come up in all these joints. Ball joints, opening fingers, closing fingers, yada yada. Fake scoops, his head's on the ball joint, but it is very, very stiff. This is probably the only thing with this figure is stiff joints. Because these are really, really stiff, to the point that these have come off a few times when transforming him. Mostly because as you rotate these, off it pops. But as you can hear there, it's very secure when you get it back on. So, get the knee joint in there, it's double joint technically, but it's only so you can slide those back. Feet are very secure, folding up for vehicle mode. And somebody's at the door, and I can't answer it. So transforming him is simple, just as it was beforehand with the ordinary Scrapmetal. The only difference being this part here is very, very hard to get out. And I fear breaking it. So I'm just going to play through this because you've probably seen this in a load of Scrapmetal videos. But be happy to know there is no difference. Folding up the legs, yada yada. Just makes it a bit easier to turn them around here. And the paint on him is really good, I'll say that too. I mean, the only real difference is that the ordinary version of Scrapmetal is more this color than this sort of proper JCB yellow. So let's tab these up here. Oh, yeah, gotta flip out this wheel before I bring these in. I always miss that step for some reason. And then just get them in there. And same on the side. And then the only real involved bit is just bringing this down to tab in. Over here where unfortunately there's a stress mark here. There it is. Folding this one in. Oh, pop out. Putting this panel on back here. And that's it. He's done, and he looks just as good in this mode. The only complaint I have is that this sits up a bit, and I've not found a way to make it sit lower. But yeah, I can't complain. There's nothing about this that really says, but like if someone had given this to me and told me this is the Studio Series 1, I would have believed them. Now, the only thing I can complain about here is this is really loose, whereas the rest of the joints are really tight. But it's just that for Devastator's Combine mode, which this can still do, this is the main joint of the finger. It becomes, so to get them into that mode, we'll just take this off. And we're just going back towards transformation mode like Devastator does. So we get these out to here. We'll do the boring one first and then we'll do my one. So the boring official one has you put these out like this. And do the same on this side. Get this out of here. And bring this down to here. This down here, and get this tab here, which is really tight on this figure, out to here. And that's the official mode. But I don't like the idea of Hightower's head being here as a fourth finger. So what I'm most likely going to do with my Devastator, if I manage to complete it, is have these two arms flip around like this and give him another 3-finger claw like he has with Scrapper. And then this will obviously be tapped onto Overload as part of the leg, but that is how I will have it. Which looks a bit more like when he sort of crab walks over and gets picked up as part of the arm, brings his back out, and then comes down again. But yeah, I really can't complain about this figure. I've tried to find fault with it, but I can't. So I think for the £8 I paid for it, I've just gotten a bargain. And I think that if you manage to find one, it is definitely worth getting. If only for the curiosity of it. What is this like as a bootleg quality? Well, like I said, I would not have known this was not the official one if I had been sold it out of box. I am waiting on their version of Rampage to come to me, which shouldn't be much longer. I'm just keeping track of it at the minute to see where it actually is in the world. And I am waiting on the official Hightower coming, which I managed to get from China. So we'll see what he's like whenever he gets here. Apart from that, yeah, final thoughts. I'm not going to give him a score out of 10 because I don't know what the original one's like. I can't compare them. And I would know what the original one was like if Hasbro would release them. Oh well. I guess I'll have to stick with this for now. But when comparing it to this guy in terms of quality, I find no fault. And this guy is really good. He's one of my favourite Studio Series figures just in terms of the level of detail and paint. I mean, he's not really articulate, unfortunately, because of these heavy ratchet joints he needs for combining, but, you know, he's still really good in his own ways. And this one is really articulate, but not really as good in combined mode, but we'll see how that works out whenever we get the whole thing together. So, yeah. If you need one, definitely get this one if you can't find the original, and just avoid scalpers prices for what it is. It's really good. So I'll see you at the next review. Yeah.